Hey everybody, AZ80's girl here with you, and today I'm continuing my trip down memory lane to the 80s. Yes, and it all begins with a Trapper Keeper. Yes, if you have your original Trapper Keeper from the 80s, hold on to that sucker because these are quite expensive on eBay. So take a look if you're really interested. This is not my original. I did want a blue one. This is definitely from the 80s. When I do remember as a kid, I think I had it in like 90, maybe 89. But there was a Trapper Keeper, but mine had all the geometric shapes and the crazy designs on mine. So then you got into the Lisa Frank stuff at that point, which I don't have that stuff. So this is the original Trapper Keeper. You got to listen because it's you know, the best. It is the Velcro opening, yes, and all those folders that are in there, the Mean Trapper folder portfolios with the. You had name and subject on there and your ruler and all that stuff in there. So yes, this is the original. So my Trapper Keeper, look out for those. So in this episode, I'm going over another episode. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out. But I went over all the books from the 80s, and this is kind of a continuation of the fun books from the 80s, as in paper doll books, coloring books, activity books, paint with water, etc. books. So I'm going to show you, this is my personal collection, what items I have to date, stuff I found, stuff I do have from when I was a kid, and I still play with. So we'll just start with the coloring books I currently have. So to start with, I do have, now I love Supergirl, so I haven't gone into my superhero collection yet on a show, but I will eventually. But I have a lot of Supergirl items, and this is one of them. So this is Supergirl coloring book. It's brand new. I have not colored in it. From the movie itself with Helen Slater. Love this movie. It's a kind of a dark one. Not a lot of people loved it. It was kind of like a love-hate kind of thing. Check it out. So that's that one. The next one I have is my thicker She-Ra. This is from my She-Ra Prince of Power cabinet of coloring pages of She-Ra and her and Catra, etc. I do have a couple more She-Ras in these plastic holders here to keep them not so crazy bent, dirty, and stinky. I do have a Gem the Holograms coloring book here. This was a little bit thinner. This does have some coloring in it somewhere, but this is what it looks like there. And then I have this thick, some of them, if you remember by the Golden Books, also labeled them giant coloring book. Now this was a giant one, and I love this one. I do remember, this one's not colored in at all. But I had definitely had this one as a kid. I remember coloring the crap out of this thing. So every day I would sit down and just color away. These were a lot easier to color on for some reason versus the other ones. There was just more room, more colors, you know, more things you could do in it. So just loved coloring in this one. So that's that one. So those are my coloring books. I'm going to go into the activity books that I have as well. So I do have a Supergirl activity book. Right now it's, you know, it's in the protector. So it's like a plastic protector that does fold over. If you're looking into keeping yours and storing yours, I would suggest, you know, investing into those. You could also cut out some boxes, parts of boxes with, you know, with a box cutter, and just enough the size for this, just to keep it firm and straight so they don't start to curl. It's good to keep them like that. If you're ever going to ship that, I would suggest putting 2 boxes, 2 cutouts, and it keeps them stiff in the package. So next one is the Police Academy. Yes, Police Academy Paint with Water. Now this is a Police Academy cartoon. This was dated 89. Pretty funny. I found this one, I think, at a garage sale. I don't know why anybody would sell this, but it's missing pages. Didn't realize, but it is missing some pages that were ripped out. But I just thought it was funny to see this at all. So it's kind of funny. Now paint with water is, I have some with my son, and I just think they're a mess. I mean, they bleed into the other ones. You almost have to have one dry and then go back an hour later to do the next one. Paint with water, and this was dated 90 actually, with Alvin and the Chipmunks. This is brand new as well. Paint with water. I know there were paint by number. I don't have any of those. And then next one I have is Sticker Fun with Robot Man and Friends. Now, do you remember Robot Man? First of all, there's a ton of books out there that say Sticker Fun, so just put that out there. But Robot Man was definitely in the 80s. I barely remember him, but I do. It's dated 85. And again, it's another golden book. These are the pre-cut stickers you lick, stick, and color. So there's Robot Man right there with this little puffball thing called lint. And then you can see inside. And there was also another robot in here, his friend, which is a girl, and her name is Stellar. So very interesting. If you don't remember Robot Man, look it up. My last one is the sticker fun with the gem and holograms again. So you could get the stickers out of here. Eric Raymond's in this one. Press out stickers, moisten, and place them on the pages where they belong. So those are the, and they have specific places for you to put them. So that's the sticker fun. They also came out with those Panini Aladdin books. I had a few as a kid where you would buy the book and they had different pages in there, and then there were rectangular stickers you had to put in place that were all numbered. So they were good enough to make you buy all these different packets, so you would have to keep buying them to fill the book up, and then you would end up having 7 or 10 of the same number, and they just kept making you, yay, we got kids that keep buying these things. And so we end up with 1 million of the same one, or you never finishing the book, and it was getting a little frustrating. But I do remember doing that. It was kind of a stressful event. So, but I did love those as well. I don't have any currently, but they do have those out there as well. So, now I'm going to go into the paper doll books that I do have. Some are used, some are not. And yes, of course, I have a Supergirl one. This is from the movie again. So this is Supergirl here. They had her back here. So in the movie, she, disguises herself with dark hair. And then you're able to change her into Supergirl here with the blonde hair. These are the other people. They're pretty much naked. It's kind of scary. Jimmy Olsen. Oh my gosh. Lucy Lane and Ethan. And that's her outfit. Supergirl and Selena. So Selena's on the back. She can dress up in a lot of different things. There's all the different outfits for them as well. So it's pretty funny that they had that. This is in my She-Ra case, my Princess of Power. Pretty big paper doll books. I mean, they made the dolls really big so you can, it's worthwhile seeing. So if you couldn't afford the doll, you could get a paper doll. And there she is there. You just would cut them out. Pre-cut fashions in 2 dolls, no scissors needed, it says. So, and then you would just detach these. Sometimes it's okay to use scissors because sometimes you can rip these. They can be held on pretty tightly. And then you can put these underneath the little cuts here so they would stand up for you. So this one we had just Adora in there. I think Angela's in here, and then Swiftwind. That's pretty much it. So there's Spirit there, and then you detach Spirit, and they have pieces to turn him into Swiftwind. And there's Angela in the back there. So that is the She-Ra one. I have Punky Brewster, and Punky Brewster, this one's from the cartoon Punky Brewster. So there's Punky there in the front. She had different fashions as well. And then there's Brandon, and this weird thing down here was Glomer. I barely remember that. This is dated 86, but they had to make the cartoon interesting by talking things, I guess. So there's Punky Brewster, love her. I do have the Hart Family paper doll book. This is brand new as well. Now the Hart Family was Mattel, so it's a Barbie family of a mom, dad, boy, girl family. It's a very positive family. Mattel books I have, catalogs I have, they always came out with another Hart Family this, a Hart Family that, so they always had, the mom was pregnant, this or that, birthday party, their house, their car, so it was a very positive family that Mattel had for Barbies. Okay. An interesting one I have found was the paper doll for Return to Oz. Now, I don't know if you haven't seen that movie or remember it at all, but it was a kind of a dark cult classic, definitely darker than Wizard of Oz. Wasn't as huge as Wizard of Oz, but it's Return to Oz. Now, Return to Oz, I think was dated this was dated 85, so yeah, about 80 something. And the main character in the actual movie was Fairuza Balk. I hope I didn't jack her name up, but she's also, that's I think one of her first movies that she was in. She was also in The Craft, Waterboy, if you remember what I'm talking about. So that's her. She is Dorothy. And there's TikTok, the chicken, Jack, and the Scarecrow. Most of these were just outfits for Dorothy to wear as well. So, and then you just took them out to be friends. So we turned to Oz. Check it out. I had my son watch it with me. He liked it. It's kind of weird, he said, but he liked it. All right, so the last two were paper dolls collections of mine when I was a kid. So they are all punched out, played with to death, and I had a great time with that. So there it is, paper doll for Jim. I only know of one that they made. On the back, you can actually punch out these, and these were actually, they show here that you just attach a string, and they can be your earrings. Very nice. You just put the string over your ear. So they came with 6 dolls, no scissors needed. And then I need to probably put the rest of these things in my Trapper Keeper so I know where they are, right? So these came with the 6 dolls. So you have all the holograms. You have Aja, Shayna, Kimber, Rio, not Synergy, not Rhea. Okay, so these were like the original before they added video, no video, stuff like that. These are the originals. And they made Jem and Jerica separate. They have them almost the same, so they can almost wear the same thing. So each girl is almost a little bit different, so they have specific fashions that can fit them. So she's like totally shaped the other way, her elbows out the other way. So she has other fashions that will fit her. Both of her elbows are out, so only certain fashions will go on her. Hers is close to Shayna's, so they could almost intermix on theirs. And then Rio, you know, it's Rio. So they do have a lot of their original fashions that they can wear. There's Aja's. So a lot of these fashions are really cool. So they're exact to the cartoon. They're exact to the fashions that are on my dolls currently. So it's pretty cool to see that. Sadly enough, I don't have a Misfits one. I don't know if they ever made a Misfits paper doll. So those would be cool. Let me know if you've seen one, and I would totally buy that. So the next and last thing I have to show you is my paper dolls of Barbie and the Rockers. Love the Barbie and the Rockers. Have a few Barbies growing up. Barbie and the Rockers was like 1 or 2 I did have of them. I'm working on getting some Barbie and the Rockers for you to do a show. I don't, like I said, I have a few pieces, and this is basically one of them. But these were the original Barbie and the Rockers that I have here, and their fashions. So I'll show you real quick. I have Barbie here. I have Barbie, Diva, Dana, Dee, and Derek, right? All the D's. Barbie and the D's. They all have their big poofy hair, big bows, big dangling earrings. They're awesome. And Derek just looked a little weird. His hair is like not dark enough or something, but he doesn't really look like the doll. These are pretty close enough, right? So they do have the original outfits in here. They have additional outfits you can change them into. So Derek's, his original outfits there. Had a few cool outfits in there. There's Barbie's original outfit. And again, these are just thicker not cardboard. There's just thicker stock paper, and then the thin paper, so these can easily rip. But these are just detached. They have little folder things, folding paper here that we just fold over their arms, fold into place down their side, and it would just lightly hold on, hang on, and then you could dance them around, right? There's no musical instruments in this though, just to let you know. So it's just more drama, soap opera you can do with these paper dolls. So anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed everything you've seen here. Please subscribe. I have a lot more coming of dolls. I am going to be touching on some just nostalgic items that I do have that were from the 80s. Follow me on Instagram for sure. I'm going to be touching into dolls that are in my cases that have nothing to do with the 80s as well, but just to show you what other collections I do have. So thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned.